Here are some reharm ideas. I thought I'd use our old friend Autumn Leaves. First, pick up notes into the first chord. So you've got the notes E, F sharp, and G into C. And that's played over an E minor chord, so you could always just play the bass notes. Then you could harmonize it just really simply with a E minor type chord. Always works. You could, and of course you can play that E minor chord at any point along the way. You don't have to play it right on. You don't have to play it. You can play it. There it was under the second note. Here it is under the third note. And so once you get to that point, you're just running the static chord. Then you can start thinking about how can I add some other chords to spice it up. And you can always precede a chord by its related 5 chord. So in this case, your target is A minor, and you're going to precede it by the dominant chord, which would be E7 in this case, which makes it kind of handy because you're starting off on E minor. So what you have to do is just turn the E minor into an E dominant chord. So you've got something like this. And you can always use the tritone substitution. So now you've got. Okay, let's try harmonizing it using a diminished chord. How would you do that? Well, since we said any chord can be preceded by its related 5, the diminished chord we're going to use really takes the place of a B7 chord. So you've got this. What's that? Well, that's your drop 2 voicing of an E minor chord right here at the 4th fret. You've got 5 on 2, 4 on 3, 5 on 4, and 5 on 5. Moving up to a diminished chord. Moving up to your Jimi Hendrix sharp 9 chord. Since you can use that dominant chord theory, you can also use the 7th chord for that whole bar. But what about if you use some different voicings for that? What about or that voicing is 5 on 5, 5 on 3, 6 on 4, and 5 on 5. And you can use either the E as a bass note, or you can use B flat as a bass note. And what about if you preceded that E dominant chord by its related 2? So now you get something like this. What's that? Well, that's B minor 11, followed by an E13 with 9 in the lead. You got 5 on 5, 6 on 4, 6 on 3, and 7 on 2. Moving to a sharp 5, sharp 9 chord. You also get contrary motion. So you get. That's why that. You can also change the bass note. So you've got so. Okay. What about if you preceded that B minor chord by its related 5 chord? This is all called back cycling, by the way, in case you want to check out what back cycling is. That's the term. And basically that means you're taking whatever chord it is that you're on at that particular time. You use dominant chords and you cycle back by using its related 5, and then you take the chord that you just got and you use its related 5, and you keep going back and back in a cycle of dominance. So this one, we're going to use the 5 chord of that B minor 11 chord that we were using, and that would give you an F sharp dominant. But let's use its tritone substitution. That'd be C. So now I've got C9. I've got something like this. What's that? Well, here's your C9 chord. You've got 5 on the B string. You've got 7 on the G string. You've got 8 on the D string, and you've got 8 on the E string. And you can break those up too. You don't have to block them out. So like I'm blocking them out. You can just you know. Using your fingers. I'm using my fingers, but you could do it with a pick too. You can also use, instead of that dominant, instead of using C7, why not use a C major 7? C major 7 and E minor are closely related, so why not C major 7? So here's C major 7. C major 7. All I'm doing really with that was a C7 chord. You just extend your pinky up. It's a little bit of a stretch, but not too bad. It's a useful chord too. And what about your A minor chord? When you land on that A minor, maybe you don't want to land right there. Maybe you want to delay the resolution a little bit. Well, one way to do that is that A minor chord moves to a D7. That's it's moving up and resolving into that D7 chord. So the 5 chord of D7, if now we use that as our target, that's going to be an A7. So you can also do stuff since you've got that A7 chord. Well, its tritone substitution is E flat. So now you've got this. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things that you can do, and we just kind of scratched the surface, but I hope you found 1 or 2 things that might interest you and you could use here or there. Let me know. Thanks a lot.